Hey, everybody. Bill Caskey back live on LinkedIn and YouTube and maybe Facebook. I don't know. Are we boycotting Facebook today? I don't know. We're on LinkedIn and YouTube, that's for sure. Glad you're with me today. It's Friday morning, 8:30. We do this every Friday morning, or at least as many as we can get to. We're on about a 6-week string now, so that's good. A couple of things before we begin today. You can still download this book. It's called 12 Bold Moves. Go to 12boldmoves.com. I don't think I have a graphic here, but maybe we'll put it in the show notes. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. It's complimentary. It's not a huge book. You know, I don't have huge books in me anymore. This is a 60-page booklet. It's got 12, and it's got exactly how you can make those moves. They're very simple things. They're very cheap things, but I think it'll, as AI would say, move the needle. A couple other things we're doing today at noon. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but we're doing a special workshop called 5 Mistakes Exceptional People Make That Keep Their Results Average. I know that's probably not the best title in the world, but here's what I see. I see people who are really good at what they do. I just had a call last night with a gentleman, a client from Australia, who's really good at what he does. I mean, he's been in the business for a long time, but he's reluctant. He's reluctant to put that brand, to put that knowledge out there. And so we're going to be talking about today. So if that's you, you need to be on this call today, this workshop. A couple other things. Let's see. I think that was about it. What was there? Was there something else? Yeah, 12 noon. Okay, so come today at 12 if you can. So where did this topic come from today? I'm going to talk about 4 or 5 things that have been on my mind that you've heard from time to time, but they're kind of making my head explode when I see that they're not followed. And I don't want to be that guy who shows up every week and tells you that you're useless and a fool and you need to be listening to me. I don't want to be that. And sometimes I feel like I am. Sometimes I feel like I'm that way with my clients. However, I also know that what I'm telling you works because I've seen it work. I've seen it happen. I've seen it work hundreds of times, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of times. So what I'm going to share with you today, these things are things you should be considering doing, even in a world where it's easy to be strangle-held. It's easy to have the strongholds of beliefs that you've always believed to be the thing that you think is going to get you through the winter, and it just won't. And so I've got 5 things today I want to share with you and be super honest with you about how these things hold me back too, because this is not me preaching to you. This is me looking at myself in the mirror and saying, where is Bill? Where's your courage on this? Where are you not where you need to be? So this is both and. So hopefully this is going to be helpful for you. I heard Dave Ramsey, who spoke on Sean Cannell's stage at a video conference the other day. It's really good, fascinating interview with him. Dave Ramsey is a well-known brand financial piece. He's written 37 books and got $1 billion business. And one of the things he said when he was on stage, and I think this spoke to me, and I think it should speak to you as well, is what is it you want to say that you haven't said enough, or at the level you need to say it? What's inside you that just has to get out? And I think, and my point number 1 is called the tyranny of conformity. And we have been taught from an early age to conform, to not rock the boat, to stand in line, raise your hand when you want to be, picked on, selected. Don't talk too much. That was my biggest thing in class in grade school, elementary, high school, is you talk too much. I would get C- in citizenship, never a D, but never a C+ or a B in citizenship because I talked too much. Back of the class, I was always horsing around. But the point is that we tend to conform. Think about the clothes we wear. And then when we see somebody who's out of conformity, what do we do? What do we say about them? Wow, she's weird, or man, who gave him the permission to wear that outfit? And we just downgrade people. And I'm not saying it's all about dress. It's not. but we do that. And so the question becomes is, where are you in your life conforming? I know I'm conforming in many ways in my life, whether it's not willing to share these things that I'm sharing today, or whether it's having an idea for a program that I sit on and sit on and sit on because I think, oh, does that really, like here's an example. Here's an example of conforming that I've done. Is I'm always telling my clients that they need to be posting more online. And when they post online, they need to send people to a web page, just a page that has a little bit more about them, maybe a video of them, maybe, just some ideas, just something that's your personal brand page. And I hear a lot of times that, no, Bill, that's not your lane. That's not your lane. You're not a web developer. And I think, well, wait a minute. It is my lane to tell them what to do. It is my lane to help them grow their business. It's my lane to help you on these Friday morning episodes grow your business. If not, why are you listening to me? And most people don't. Most people don't listen to me. I mean, just a handful of people show up and a few hundred people watch this afterwards. But what is my lane? And isn't your lane everything that happens from the time you make a recommendation to the time the prospect or the client actually implements it? I think it is. And so I've been thinking for a while about, well, shouldn't we have a web page for our clients that is just for them and their videos? Because if they go to their boss and say, hey, I want to create a web page just for my personal brand, the manager's going to say, well, that's going to cost $5,000 for the web developer to do. And this is something that should cost $30, not $5,000, but they rip you off. So where is that lane for me? Shouldn't that be? And of course, the answer is yes. But I hear what other people say. Oh, Bill, don't do that. You don't want to get into that business. It's like, really? Don't want to get into that business of helping my clients? Is that where you get off on this? So I think we all have to look at those places where we are tolerating mediocrity, we're tolerating conformity, and say, I got to step out of that. You're like the caterpillar and the butterfly. It's like we got to transform ourselves and renew our own minds so that we can be of more value to our clients. Because we always say we want to make more money. I don't know anybody who calls me. I had a call yesterday with a guy who runs a team of 8 people. They want to double their business in the next 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5, not 35. 3 to 5 years. Well, he didn't come to me and say, hey, we want to reduce our business. Everybody wants more. Well, how do you get more? You get more by serving people and by delivering value to your customers and to your prospects. And one way to do that is to not conform and be different. Okay, number two is the game is rigged. The game is so, the buyer-seller game is so broken. And it's all of our fault. I mean, it's the buyers, it's the sellers, it's the coaches, it's the trainers. We have trained salespeople to be people who the buyer doesn't trust. I mean, think of all the fancy moves and the clever one-liners and all the manipulative tactics that you've heard from sales coaches and trainers over the years. Hopefully not from me, but I'm sure I'm guilty of it occasionally. But where is the spirit there? The spirit for a sales professional should be in having an honest conversation with the prospect about whether they have any pains or problems or dilemmas that you can help them with, or whether they want to get to a destination that they can't get to on their own, that only through engaging you they can get to. That's really the spirit of sales. But salespeople have mucked it up. We've mucked it up. Marketers have mucked it up. And then what do the buyers do? Well, the buyers, they only have one defense, and that is to work you through their system and get to a place where they can make a decision based on price and nothing else. And so all of your unique value goes out the window. You can blame them, but it's our fault. It's our fault because for 40 years, we played a game that they finally grabbed onto, and now they're not letting you play that game anymore. So I say, get out of the game, get out of the broken system. And I'm going to sound like a 60s hippie. The system, the man is rooting against you. I'm not saying that nobody's rooting against you, Well, maybe some people are, but a lot of people are rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, but I want you to get out of the game. I even wrote the book called Same Game, New Rules, which you say, well, I thought you just said the game is different. Well, the game is the same, but I want you to play by a new set of rules. Okay. So anywhere you can look in your business life and see how the game continues to be played, and you want to play a new game, I recommend you go down that direction. Here's one example. One example of that is if you typically quote early in the sales process. I've been guilty of this. I should never quote a price or anything until we have a deep, very long discussion about what their problems are and how much their problems cost them to have. I've got one client who will never quote a deal until the customer has denominated the cost of the problem. So, and what that does a lot of times is people, they fly away from him, but he closes 90% of the deals. Once he gets to this, he knows that he'll close a tremendously high percentage. He's changed the game. So you got to find out in your sales process where you can change the game. Number 3, digital reality. I know we all want to go back. We all want to go back to the days when the 3 martini lunch, and in my case, 5 martini lunch. I don't think I ever had a martini. You know what? In all my days of nefariousness, I don't know that I ever had a martini. That's probably a good thing. I probably would be dead if I drank as many martinis as I did vodka tonics. Anyway, the idea here is that you want things to go back to the way they were, where deals were made on golf courses and all that. Relationships are built there still. I love it. I love it. There's nothing wrong with that. But the transactions online is where all this begins. It all begins with some kind of a transaction where a prospect sees you, downloads something, maybe downloads this 12 Bold Moves book. I've had many people who have downloaded this, and we've ended up doing business with them where I'm bringing some of these concepts into their world. They love this book. So that's an example of that started with a digital handshake of some kind. A digital transaction. Don't ignore that. Don't ignore the digital transaction. I know some of you think that's beneath you, and you think, oh, I'm not I'm not an online marketer. Yeah, you are. Everybody is. Prove to me that you're not an online marketer. You might be not an online marketer in the traditional way that you've thought of online marketers, but you're an online marketer. How else are people finding out about you? So don't diss online marketing. Say, okay, how am I going to use my digital presence online to begin that handshake and to start the process, start the transaction? I've got a client who has a podcast, and every podcast he offers a free. It's like it's not like a white paper. It's more of a checklisty kind of thing, but he's generated hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue from that. Now, we worked through, he was a client, so we worked through exactly what was on it, what was not on it, what's the call to action, what's the follow-up email sequence, what does the podcast ask sound like? All that stuff is important, because if you don't have that, you can have the best thingamajig in the world, but nobody's going to download it. So digital reality is different now. And in a world of AI, where there's a lot of AI content, there's one thing they can't replace, and that's you. And I know you'll say, well, no, but it can replace voices. Okay. But if you're not shooting video now, it's unlikely you're going to go create your own digital meme or your digital brand without you. You're just not going to do it. So forget about that. Just figure out over the next year, what are you going to do to build your personal brand online? Be digital. Number 4, 3 or 4. I don't know what number it is. Yeah, I think this is 3. The buried treasure. The buried treasure means that you have assets that you're sitting on, and you don't even know what they are. And I'm sorry to be so forceful on this, but I see people all the time who come to me and they say, I want to grow my business. My people need sales training. And I look at their business and I look at what they're doing and I think, you don't need sales training. You don't need sales coaching. Sales training, and I do that, and I have done that work, but that's the last point of concern. The question is what do you have in your possession? What are you sitting on that you're not using right now? And trust me, I've got a lot of things. I've got a lot of things that I could be using. Here, this is a good example. What did I just do when we started here? I said, hey, if you haven't downloaded 12 Bold Moves book, go to 12boldmoves.com. I thought I had I'm sorry. I thought I had this so you could see it, 12boldmoves.com. Anyway, but this is an asset. Now I can tell you every week to download this, but most of you are not going to do it. 99% of people are going to say, oh no, he's just going to collect my email address and there's nothing in it. There can't be anything in that book. I didn't write it, so there can't be anything in it. Caskey wrote it. What does he know? He's an old man. He's seen his better days. Skin's wrinkly, hair's white. What could possibly Bill Caskey know about this? You can have that. You can have that thought. But each one of these 12 is content. Each one of these 12. So I'm sitting on this booklet. I'm sitting on this, and I haven't done that yet. I haven't taken each one of these and created a video, created a training. This should probably be a training course, 12 Bold Moves. Note to self, it should be, it will be. 12 Bold Moves is a $1,000 training course. We have to change the title, but this could be a $1 million enterprise, but not if I treat it as a giveaway booklet that I occasionally say, hey, you need to download this book. I'm sitting on this content here. What are you sitting on? We will never be able to leverage everything. I mean, it's just, I guess you could. I guess if you had a team of people and all they did was sit around every day and think, what are we going to leverage of Bill's content? But I've got 2 other books there. It's just never ending. So for you, what do you have? You may not have books and podcasts and videos. You may not have that, but what do you have? You have a lot of knowledge. You have expertise. You have ways of going about things that are unique. You have beliefs. You have preferences, points of view. I'm giving you my points of view today. Why don't you do this? Why don't you sit down and say, what are my 5 most, no, I don't know if they're controversial, but just what are the 5 beliefs that I have that people need to really fix? So think about the mountain of value that is out there for you or not out there, that's inside you, that you're sitting on. You're literally sitting on this mountain of value and you don't see it. If you could just use 50% of that, maybe 20% of that, you're probably using 3% of that right now. This is one of the things we're going to be talking about today in this exceptional talent workshop is how much value you're sitting on that you just ignore. You refuse to see it. Why do you think you refuse to see it? Why do you think I refuse to see the value I'm sitting on? It's all psychological. It's all mental. It's not about, I don't believe it's valuable. I mean, I do believe that's valuable, but it may not be that, but it's psychological. Like, what if, let's hire it. If I said to you, look, hire somebody, or I've got somebody that I'm going to give to you for 3 months, and all they're going to do is look at your value, and they're going to monetize it in some way. 90% of you would say, no, I don't want that. I'm not going to do that. You're ashamed. We're ashamed of our own value. Isn't that sad? All right, number 4, your inner operating system. We're about out of time here. I appreciate you all joining me. Do we have any comments here? Oh yeah, what are the assets that I have? Okay, yeah, that's good, David. Yeah. I mean, it's a foundational question that no one ever asks. It's the most amazing thing, David, and thank you for that. It's the most amazing thing that we all know it, don't we? We all know that we're sitting on a storehouse of stuff, of valuable stuff, experience. This guy last night on the phone, who's a great guy, he's a client, has 20 years of experience in this one niche. And he's the only person in Australia that does this thing that he does for his company. It's a US company, but he's the only one in Australia. Think about how much he's learned in 20 years. Think about how many problems he solved, how many case studies. Just think about all the knowledge he has. But when I ask someone to write down the 12 problems they solve, people don't know where to begin because they don't think about it from that perspective. What are the problems that you solve that are unique? You bring unique solutions to, and just what are the problems? Forget about whether it's unique or not. What are the problems you solve that people have, and they may know they have them, they may not know they have them. So your mindset is your operating system. All of our subconscious, I'm not going to get into the subconscious. We don't have time for that now, but all of our subconscious thoughts drive all of our behavior. I mean, I don't know how many studies we need to see that our subconscious thoughts are the origin of most of our conscious thoughts and thus our behaviors. And so we have to look in that operating system and say, what do I believe right now about me or about my market or about the possibility that's just wrong? And that's hard. It's hard to admit that we have erroneous beliefs, but we do. We all do. I do. I'm working on those. I mean, part of that is the meditation and prayer and reflection, parts that I believe are essential to us growing, because the other alternative is growth through labor versus growth through leverage. I want you to grow through leveraging of your talent, and that requires an inner operating system, iOS, that you get in trouble for that. It's capital I, though. It's not little I. Requires an inner operating system that allows those thoughts to come up. So if we don't have any kind of a practice or habits of reflection, stillness, contemplation, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't have to be some kind of woo-woo meditation. But if you don't have a practice of silence and silence, then all that stuff can't come up. Need to practice self-reflection. Yes, sir. So the inner operating system is important. We always act in a manner consistent with what we believe. So if you catch yourself, it's hard to catch yourself in a bad belief. It's easier to catch yourself in a bad behavior or a bad lack of behavior, like procrastination. If you procrastinate something, chances are, and I'm speaking as someone who has worked with thousands of people. This is not, I don't have any degree or certification in psychology. It's common sense. You can read a book and figure this out. If you don't do behavior you know you need to do, it's because of a belief. You either believe the behavior won't help you get to a new place. You believe the behavior ultimately would be bad for you or threaten your life or your existence or your ego. Or the belief just can't be changed. It's so deep. That's just who I am. You've heard people say that. I've said that. Hey, I don't clean my car. It's just who I am. No, you clean your car. Have you ever walked by a car where you think, oh my God, is the person sleeping in there? Sometimes they are. Not to be judgmental, because cars can be. I've slept in a car before. Back in my 20s, I slept in my car, not occasionally. Inner operating system. So think about, what do you want to get done in your life that requires a new set of beliefs, and start to check out what those limiting beliefs are. Hard to do. You might need a therapist or a coach for that. I don't know. But sometimes we can be flooring the accelerator, just have that thing pinned to the floor, but our other foot is on the brake. And so it's gunning. It sounds like the engine's roaring, but we're not getting anywhere. That's a belief. That's a limiting belief metaphor. And once you decide that and make a decision that I'm going to change that belief, it's almost like it goes away like that. So if you are interested in anything from me, you can go to schedule a call with Caskey.com. I do not have a thing for that, but if also you want to join me today, noon to 1 Eastern, 5 mistakes exceptional people make. You won't see the same thing here. So if you watch today and enjoy, you're not going to see exactly the same thing, but we'll talk about some of the mistakes. So hopefully that's been helpful for you. I'd love to hear what you got out of this. I will be in the comment section a little bit later today. So if you do have a comment, you've watched this post facto and want to leave a comment, good, bad, or ugly. I'm happy to field it, and appreciate you who were on either YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. And I hope this has been valuable. See ya.